sometimes some of you people think we randomly just pick, say this guy's a starter and he's going to play the whole game. Eventually, all of us coaches have to say who goes out there first because somebody has to. But the players generally decide if they're the starter or not. But just because they're the starter, that doesn't mean they're even going to play the whole game. As coaches, and I've been doing this a long time, although some of you think maybe this is my first season. But anyway, as coaches, you also got to find out players that maybe practice very well, don't play well in the games, or don't practice very well and play super in the games. Danny Warfel, if you watched him in practice, his ball would wobble all over the place. When the game started, he was throwing it right straight in there as pretty as anybody I've ever seen. So you have to judge a lot of things, but the players themselves will decide out here who becomes the starter. Now, again, several years ago, we started Connor Shaw up in Charlotte. Remember that? And of course, the local media said there's no way he'd ever be as good as Steven Garcia. Remember that guy that used to be here? No way he would ever be as good. Now Connor Shaw is considered maybe the best quarterback, winningest quarterback to ever play here. So as coaches, you know, it doesn't always matter who starts. Everybody's going to eventually get their chance. And then it works its way out the way they play. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. At receiver, quarterback, we got a lot of unknowns. So there's a good chance several people could play. Simple as that. Okay?
Does that excite you that you got enough players?
Well, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. No one has proven enough to say, hey, I'm going to play the whole game right now. You know, obviously Dylan was in that situation. Connor Shaw was pretty much, although Dylan we thought was good enough to go in a few series here and there. But it'll work its way out, And again, just because a guy might have been a starter last year, he may not be a starter this year. He may get beaten out by a new player. That's just the way it goes. So if anybody wants to know my style of coaching, it is that you earn your way every year. Just because you started last year, that doesn't mean you're going to do it this year unless you're the best player. And that's the way we do it, just to let some of y'all know, okay? So it's up to the players, not the coaches so much. That's why we practice out here.
There's some reports that Nosovich is transferring to Boston.
I read that in the paper. Yeah, we wish him the best. He's a fine young man, graduated. He helped our GPA. Didn't play a lot, but he was a wonderful young man.
Put a couple of guys on scholarship.
Yeah, we put Perry Orth and Drew Williams, our snapper. Yeah, they both have earned it. They both had excellent summers working out. If you don't think the workouts in the summer are important, those two guys were right with the best of them. And that was part of the reason, but they're going to contribute. And Drew's already been contributing, and we think Perry will contribute in the next several years.
How'd your QBs look today?
They all look pretty good. Lorenzo knows a lot more what to do than you would think for a true freshman. So that was encouraging.
Steve, does he bring a completely different dynamic from the other three guys?
A little bit. I would say so. He can run better than all of them. But and he's learning the offense too. He doesn't just take off. He stands in there and throws it. So he's a real quarterback.
How do you feel about your offensive line, the guys who are going to play for you this year?
Well, we don't know yet because we haven't scrimmaged much. Those young guys look pretty good. Some of those defensive linemen look pretty good also. But again, we practice and games are two different things. Remember last year when the defense stuffed the offense, a couple of scrimmages? I said, man, we're going to be pretty good on defense. And all of a sudden, the real games come, didn't stop hardly anybody. So preseason is preseason. It's important, but the ball games are what's really important.
Coach Elliott said that he does not expect Brock Stadnick back at all this season.
No, he has shoulder surgery, and I don't know if how much he'll play in the future. He may want to graduate and transfer and play somewhere, but he's going to be way behind these young guys we got here now.
You've closed your practices to everybody, and Dabo's opened his up to the media for the first five. I mean, what's that tell you about the world we live in now?
I don't know. The media? You mean he can open to the media and not the fans? That's right. I didn't know that was permissible.
Yeah, that must be.
Well, you better check the legal ramifications of that. There may be some lawsuits.
First five practices are open to the media to watch the whole thing.
Or you guys go up there and bring us a report back, and we'll listen to you about 3 months from now, okay? 4 months. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Steve.